animals really go for coconut oil, don't they?
Yes, they do, and it's kind of interesting. You know, I talk to a lot of pet owners, and they give it to their dogs and cats, even horses and farm animals, and it's amazing that it works just as good for animals as it does for people. I mean, animals, pet owners that talk about warts and ulcers and digestive problems, even Alzheimer's, believe it or not, they give animals coconut oil and they improve.
Also, I wanted to go into oil pulling here because that is an issue that once I saw it on CureZone.com, and of course you can see Bruce Fife's Power Hour presentation. Do you know how many people have listened to that presentation on CureZone.com that you did on the Power Hour program? I mean, have you ever listened to it or seen it there?
Yes, I have.
My goodness, people listen to that and promote it for everyone to look at. If you want to hear Bruce Fife's program on oil pulling, you can go there or you can go back to the archives of the Power Hour. Let's talk about the 101 of what oil pulling is. And I wish you'd come up with a better name for it than that, by the way.
Well, that's the name it came with, so I just used the same name.
Yeah.
Well, very basically, oil pulling is putting oil, and I recommend coconut oil, in the mouth and swishing it in the mouth. And I recommend that people do it for 15 to 20 minutes. Now, when people hear that, they kind of think, well, that's kind of a long time. And yeah, it is long, but if you do other things like prepare your breakfast or get dressed, take your shower or whatever, it isn't that long. And you get used to it after a while. And you're just rinsing your mouth out with it, and then you spit the oil out. And what the oil is doing is that it's basically pulling bacteria, mucus, and pus out of the mouth. It's cleansing the mouth. And
when do you have pus in the mouth, though?
When you have an infection. And since probably 60 or 70% of the population has an active infection of some type in their mouth, whether it's a cavity or whether it's gum disease. I mean, most people have gum disease right now, and they don't even know about it. They're not aware of it. People, they brush their teeth, and oftentimes they have blood. That's an indication you've got inflammation of the gums. You've got an infection there. Everybody has bacteria in your mouth. You can't get away from it. It's always going to be there. And if you have any little cut, infection's going to get in. It's like if you have a cut on the bottom of your foot and you're walking through swamp water full of bacteria, you're going to get an infection. Well, your mouth is like the swamp water. It's full of bacteria and an infection. If you have any type of little cut, it's easy to get into the bloodstream. And this is really the bad thing about it, is that the bacteria does go into the bloodstream, and it can go throughout the body and infect the entire body.
Okay, when we get back, we're going to talk more about oil pulling, because I really am a believer in oil pulling. It's one of those things you just have to keep up and keep doing. We'll talk about oil pulling. That's really swishing it around in your mouth. It's not anything that's really objectionable at all. We'll be back. 3-minute break with Dr. Bruce Fife. This is Joyce Riley.